Previously on Quest Friends Hereafter.
And that's when it all began, with a clue.
Now listen, you ever been to the Out of Time grocery store?
I think so.
Do you have any rutabagas?
Do you have any rutabagas?
Oh, I didn't like that laugh.
Ding, you got a message on your phone. We're trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. We're trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Hang up.
And Quique, you notice that with the exception of a fading signature, the card is blank.
As soon as he gets the first clue and after he realizes that it's not just a mishap of the card, he's going to be like, at long last, my opportunity to solve a mystery has arrived. Just like the fabled Lady Tech stuff.
But for that, we have to do a bit of a flashback.
It was Sunday. For most people, that means a day of rest, of relaxation. But I'm not most people. I'm Irene Hawthorne, the world's greatest Necromon trainer. It had been a month since my last match, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. Our battle had been against a haughty country girl and an imposter, but all I could see was a mirror. As it just so happened, the Dome had recently opened a Sarvian exhibit. It was time to train my mind.
So Irene, it's about 12:50, something like that. You've just had lunch. You're here at the Boidle Rat exhibit. Boidle Rat, the official Necromon of Zarvia. No, it's a nicer one. It's like the nicer version of the Boidle Rat. It's like a ghost possum or something.
Can it have a Nushanka?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Begging you.
It's a ghost possum in a Nushanka.
God.
Actually, no, it's a little orb, a little like floating glass ball with an Ushanka is what you see. These are ice creatures that can link up to each other and make bigger features. Used for entertainment, for war, for battle, all those kinds of things.
They say, lurk, lurk, lurk.
It's almost lyric.
That's why Rasputin wants musical numbers.
We've done it. We've connected the dots. We've made a conspiracy!
He thinks they're asking him to sing by saying lyric, lyric, lyric.
We solved the mystery!
They're called Kirill, is what they would be called. Lyric. Yeah, they're called Kirill.
Carol.
What exactly are you doing here, Irene?
Well, you train your Necromon, right? You train your body, and you train your mind. So Irene is here to train her mind. That's what she calls researching or like homework or things like that. She's training her brain. She's making her intellect buffer. Secretly, she also just kind of likes museums.
So, yeah, you are learning, and your Necromon are learning as well.
Boico.
Any exhibits that particularly interest any of the Necromon?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what exhibits there are here, but if there's any, like, about the fauna of Sarvia, I think Malaya would be interested in seeing that.
The fighting fauna of Zarvia
Yes!
was the 55th unit
Oh, yes!
of plant soldiers called the fighting fauna.
The fighting fauna. Malaya is all about the fighting fauna.
There's a little section about his cousins, the dancing mushrooms.
Oh, yes! The dancing mushrooms! Oh, like those invitation! Yeah.
Amazing.
The dancing mushroom!
Anything for Pokio?
Pokio is interested in Zarbian cuisine. Pokio has found a chef's hat. They stole it from the museum. A Zarbian chef's hat. It looks just like a Nushanka, but pleated.
All right. And since Tom's internet has shut off for a little while, I will describe what the Mossies do. The Mossies are kind of split all over the place. I mean, they're usually a unit, but you're in the Zarvian exhibit. What could go wrong? So Irene, you're checking it out. You're looking at the Kirill. Next to you, this boy in like very ragged, rusty kind of...
Like a newsboy cap and like suspenders?
Yeah, this skeleton in this newsboy cap and suspenders with a little name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Lexi."
Oh my god!
It's just like,
No!
Boidle rat is better. Lexi not understand why Boidle rat not here.
Irene slowly turns over. Boidle rat.
Yes, Boidle rat.
Boidle rat are literal trash. They are trash.
Yes. His strongest element.
No one has ever thought that except one person, and I crushed him.
Yes. Sister Annie told me all about it. And as you're having this uncomfortable conversation, the clock strikes 1, and you hear the screams. T-Sop!
Oh, I go to my babies!
Roll me to take action.
Oh! I got 2 2s.
No!
Wait, what is your fierce?
My fierce is 3.
Mixed success then.
Oh yeah,
So take action. You react slightly too late.
I am not a fast child.
Irene, you run faster than you should. Everything is blurring around you. The lights are stronger, the sounds are louder, but you can't notice because you're tunnel vision. As you go, you see one of the Mossies trying to bite at this figure, wearing a robe and a Phantom of the Opera mask covering their face.
I would like to use Elemental Blast.
With who?
With Pokio. Pokio is barreling in. Because that's the move.
Yeah.
That's the move.
Okay, so you're running in. Pokio is running as well with the little chef's hat.
Little chef's hat, here comes this tiny little cactus, and this works perfectly because regardless of whether Irene told Pokio to do this, Pokio's actually loose cannon and was gonna pull out, I'm a healer, but and just attack.
So you charge, and Pokio charges with you. An Elemental Blast. Tell me what Elemental Blast does.
Roll your Necromon signature stat to harness their element. Based on what the signature stat is, the effect may change. So, for Pokio, the signature stat is Slick, and the effect is a circumstantially unique ability.
So what circumstantially unique thing happens when Pokio does their Elemental Blast?
I think it would be fun if they could, instead of draining, like amplify the other's ability. So like the Mossies grow these huge sharp teeth or something.
Cactus spikes spontaneously, but it's not as horrifying. Never mind, X-guard that.
I mean,
They do not grow cactus spikes.
maybe they do make other Necromon spiky.
The power of cactus.
Hallie or Ari, if you think of any good cactus attack puns.
Cact attack.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Attactus.
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 Cactus attactus.
Cactus
Sounds like a
attactus.
a Roman general. Cactus attackus.
Okay, cactus attactus. That's what it is now.
I imagine Cactus attackus, it looks like Sonic the Hedgehog's spin dash, but it's a cactus.
She yells, "Cactus a cactus! Oika!"
As you yell, the figure turns back and looks towards you. And Pokio fucking bolts, and that blue electricity shoots between all their spines, and it shoots towards one of the Mossies, which reaches out to grab it. But because you rolled a mixed success on take action, which means you arrive slightly too late, the Mossy is blocked by the phantom figure's hand, which latches onto it, and you hear a, "Ow!" as Pokio's Cactus Attactus zaps the thief's hand instead of the Mossy that it was targeting. And before you, Malaya, Pokio, or the other two Mossies can respond, the figure whisks their coat and, like a phantom, vanishes.
No!
I will say that Malaya was so distressed that he forgot he could get bigger to reach the place faster. So he has been running to save the friend, but very small. So it takes it a long time, and that's why he didn't reach it.
Oh,
He's been mushrooming across the museum.
my baby. Irene is just holding the remaining Necromon.
Oh.
You tried.
So you pick up Malaya, pick up Pokio, pick up one of the Mossies, and another Mossy appears with something in its mouth. Because I forgot to mention that when we start investigations, the first clue should have been free. Ari shouldn't have had to roll, so we're going to give that clue to you free right now. 4 of diamonds. Diamonds provide physical evidence related to the victim's body or possessions. There is evidence of an injury. So in fact, the other moss ball doesn't come with anything, the other Mossy. Instead, as you pick it up, you feel almost as if your soul itself is hurting.
In the car, going to the grocery store. What music do we put on?
I imagine that Sparky has like tapes that like in that Phineas and Ferb episode where they have best trucker hits from 1986 to 1986. Like something weird like that. It's all cassette tapes and mixtapes. I have a lot of mixtapes.
Who made the mixtapes for you?
Well, Sparky made most of them. She would throw away any Elliot gave her. If Lucas gave her a mixtape, man, that would be amazing. I'm sure they made one together in high school because that's what you do when you're young, in love at that age. You make mixtapes.
There are a couple of mixtapes. There's the one that you made with Lucas, which is clearly just your taste because he's a doormat.
Yeah, that's why I like it so much.
And then there's one that he made for you that is clearly just Chaz Casey's taste. Because he asked your friend Chaz Casey for help on making a perfect mixtape.
That's adorable.
If Lucas Bang made one of his own, it'd just be the Pokemon theme over and over again.
What a good mixtape! Sparky's gonna put one of her own mixtapes on this time, though. I imagine Hilda and Sparky cruising down in her van with sunglasses like the Blues Brothers, going to the grocery store to look for rutabagas.
But I'm also imagining the vibe of the When Mom Isn't Home video.
Yes, exactly.
Just both of them bobbing their heads.
But I changed my mind, and instead of that, it's just Europey. We're just gonna blast Europey going down the highway in this ancient van, going to the grocery store.
Yeah. You are now at Out of Time. Out of Time looks pretty similar to how it looked in that kind of vision you had, Sparky. Because, I mean, it was just the same, it's a grocery store.
Yeah.
It's a slightly nicer grocery store. And yeah, you go in. You're in Out of Time.
Okay, Hilda. I think our best bet is to either pretend to be someone who needs to see the books for official authoritative purposes, in which case it will be me taking on the brunt of the work and you doing distraction, or a child asking for help with an after-school project of some kind, in which case, of course, you would take the lead. Which are you feeling today, kiddo?
I have bribe money, and she pulls out, like, a small allowance. I can be very distracting, I have been told.
With bribe, like you're going to bribe people to be distracted and not pay attention, or you're going to use the money?
Well, I thought that might help, but I can also just cause a distraction myself if we need.
Okay.
This is the second time in the show a child has suggested bribes.
I'm gonna be mad if Hilda bribing someone worked and Irene bribing.
You tried to bribe Ariel. They knew you. Steve from Out of Time does not know Hilda.
All right, you know how really big grocery stores, this is a small one, but you know how really big ones will have bathrooms behind, like, the warehouse they let people go in sometimes.
Yeah, it's like right next to the door that goes back into the back room.
Yeah. There's a grocery store in Wisconsin where it's all the way in the back room, and I'd like this to be like that grocery store in Wisconsin that I have gone to several times. And I just want to do the classic, I'm going to use the bathroom, but actually I'm going to snoop. I'm completely switching tacks from what I told Hilda, because Sparky is all over the place in every facet of her life.
Hilda was gonna try to approach Steve and cause a
Yeah,
distraction.
I think probably splitting up is the best.
Like, Hilda will join her back there if she thinks she can, but is going to start by following the plan.
Okay, I think the way we'll play this out is we're gonna play Hilda talking with Steve,
Definitely.
and then assuming Tom does a decent enough job of lying, the way we'll flavor it is we'll do actually one of our moves, Help a Friend, where someone is trying to help someone else succeed at their goal. If Hilda is convincing enough to distract Steve, then we'll say that Hilda successfully helped Sparky and you'll get a bonus to your roll. I think that's the easiest way to do that. Does that work for everyone?
Yeah?
All right, so let's start with Hilda. Hilda, you walk up, you see Steve. He's in an apron, he's got a ball cap, he's cute. He's a solid, give me a number out of 10, Hallie.
8.
He's a solid 8 out of 10. He's a nice guy.
Hilda cares nothing for this.
No, he's the kind of guy that, I don't know, a single woman in her 30s might find cute.
Fuck you! You know, if we ever, I can never be like, I'm Hallie, I have a podcast. Like, I can't do that
You
now.
brought Steve back. I was ready to let Steve die.
Admittedly, I kind of angled for it here.
Anyways, yeah, you walk up to Steve.
Hilda sidles up. Like, you know how early on in Breaking Bad, everything Walter White does is like something he saw in a movie once. So he's like, yes, gonna act like we're looking at magazines at the stand and talk about our business deals. This is Hilda's effect. Hilda is like gonna slide up so that she's like got her back to him, looking kind of away, seems to be staring at like this peanut butter shelf, and is just gonna take out a 5, slowly slide it along the counter towards Steve.
Booker's eye stalks stare at him over Hilda's shoulder.
And without removing her hand from it, it's just gonna say, "Hey, wanna make some easy money?"
Oh, hello, small child. What smoothie would you like?
Is he Russian?
No, I am just gentle. This is the gentle accent.
Hilda, attempting to mimic all of the cool people in her life, is going to like lean an elbow on the counter, one hand on a hip, and say, I want the mother of all smoothies. I want a smoothie so good that indeed everyone has to come see how good it is over here. And there's a little extra involved. She pulls out a $10 bill, slides that onto the counter as well. There's a little extra involved if you happen to call in that maybe there has been a spill in a few aisles here, and a couple of your fellow employees need to come over and leave their posts in the stockroom. That'd be real cool. Not for anything sinister. I just, it's important to me personally as a person.
Only convince somebody.
$15. I can go higher.
I'm gonna give you a +1 because it turns out that Alexander Hamilton is Steve's favorite president.
Oh God. Oh well. So that's a 5. I'm rolling so low.
Can I assist? I look so cool with my little eye stalks.
I think there's no way to salvage this unless Booker wants to do something entirely different.
Steve is gonna be like, oh, well, I don't really have that authority. I'm just in the smoothie place. But I understand. I get lonely too. Here, how about to make it feel like we have more company? We listen to some episodes of my podcast while I make your smoothie.
I mean, I guess so.
Rekub. Booker shakes like his whole body as if he's shaking his head. Rekub.
I'm so glad, because this smoothie will take a while to make.
Hilda continues nodding and listening. She sees no way out other than to listen to this podcast.
No, you so you don't get.
What's the name of the podcast? Which let me ask you in character. What's the name of the podcast?
Oh, the name of the podcast is a very interesting one. It's called.
I'll just say Catching Up, Steve.
I've got you one better. That's smooth, Steve.
It's called That's Smooth, Steve. It's a little bit about smoothies and a little bit about Steve and
a little bit about life.
And a little bit about life.
I'm very glad I failed this roll.
So Sparky, you look and you see that Steve is very intently talking to Hilda.
Yeah.
But there's still people around you milling in and out.
Okay.
There's someone waiting in line for the bathroom, probably.
And I'm right next to where it goes into the back of the grocery store. Like the swinging doors that go into the stockroom or warehouse or whatever.
Yep.
You know what? I'm just gonna go. Like, this is just a random person. I'm just gonna walk in the back
Just
there.
walk like you own the place?
Yeah, exactly. Fuck this rando.
Yeah, roll. Let's do sneak. Yeah, you're just walking in.
I'm minding my own business. Damn it. I was so close. It's a 10 with my -1. I was really close to a Maleta. I got a 6 and a 5. So I got a 10.
Yeah, you successfully sneak.
Yeah!
You walk in, and the back of the store is small.
Okay.
And I mean, it was gonna feel small regardless, because last time you were in the back of this store, it was extending out into infinity. You know, you had all the Steves, all of the different stocks, and now it's a back storeroom. You know, there are people milling about.
Yeah.
Nothing much. You can see, like, someone on a forklift in front of you who's a smaller figure in overalls doing a forklift, working their job.
All right, so I would like to use an AP to add something useful to the environment that wouldn't necessarily be there otherwise.
Yeah.
I would like an apron, an out-of-time apron to be there, and I want to put it on. I'm just an employee in the back of the warehouse.
Yep, you got an apron. It'll act as a signature item, so it'll give you advantage.
Whoop, whoop.
So yeah, you stick on an apron, you got an out-of-time apron.
Cool, I got my little apron. All right, I'm just going to go search it. First, I want to just see if there are any rutabagas back there. And then second, if I don't, I want to see if there's like an office I can sneak into to see like rutabaga order reports.
Yeah, give me an understand roll. And the general books roll, understand, essentially lets you ask a question. I think the question you want to ask is, where is the information on the rutabaga?
Exactly, yeah. I have a skilled investigation, and I got a +2 in books, so that's going to be a +3 overall, right? Or skills advantage.
Skills advantage.
Skills advantage, okay. So that's 3 dice, okay.
3 dice, take the results of the top 2.
All right, that is a 12 with my books.
Good God.
It's not a natural Maleta, but it is a 12.
So you ask me a simple question. You'll find information about the rutabaga, but what do you want to know about the rutabaga?
I want to know why they lie about how many rutabagas they have. Like, why do they even have a display if they never fucking have any rutabagas? Because, I mean, where are the rutabagas would be great, but Sparky cares less about the rutabagas themselves and more about why bother hiding them? Why bother with the charade that I have seen through? Why not just take them off the display? So, like, where's the answer to that question, Lurkin? Where can I find that?
Yeah, so you look around, you see a couple of other folks, occasionally people in the apron, but again, usually figures wearing overalls and boots. And they also seem to be wearing bright red, so it's kind of bright red around their face and arms, and then overalls and boots.
Okay, so they're Mario. So
Kind of.
I'm in the Mario house. Look at all the Marios at the Out of Time store.
You don't really pay enough attention to know for sure.
Okay.
Because I know you have an inability on perception if you're investigating.
I sure fucking do. You remembered.
So you just kind of see overalls, boots, red.
Yeah, these not rutabagas, not papers.
You don't know if there's a mustache. You haven't seen any green.
All right, no purple.
No purple. No purple. And you go and you do some investigations. They alphabetize everything. So you look through. You see like ramen. You see resto, which is instant pesto, even though pesto is already instant.
I was gonna ask, what is resto?
What is Instant pest? What?
like
That like
you buy pesto in a
like
jar.
pre-made pesto? Like you can make fresh pesto.
No, you have to. You
if you
have
want to be authentic, but
Unlike pesto in our world that you can just buy pre-made, like most instant things, you do have to microwave it for it to work.
Resto Scuba spitting in his grave.
Oh.
Resto pesto.
Pesto has reached his eternal resto. Resto in pesto, Mr. Scuba.
It was designed by Oset's grandfather, Pesto Scuba. It's his, like, retirement business.
One of the many things owned by Scuba Corp. The Resto conglomerate. They're like Campbell's, but with instant pesto.
And
You know, Resto.
you get down to the rutabaga.
Because rutabagas.
And you see a note that says, reminder, all rutabagas, question mark, will be automatically sold to redacted. However, since this is only a temporary thing, because you noticed, Sparky, it started about a month before the campaign started. So it says, because this is a temporary thing, don't bother rearranging the sign up front.
Intriguing.
And your tracker goes up from 4 to 5.
Oh, yeah. 1 point.
Gain new information that they're selling to an unknown buyer, and this agreement is going to seemingly be temporary.
Okie dokie. Alright, I have found that thing that I want. But the second thing is there an office back there that is, like, visible and accessible to me?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to walk in.
Okay.
I belong there. I have an apron.
You walk in, and you notice the room is hot.
Weird.
Very hot. And you see these boots on the desk. Again, grimy boots like everything else, and these overalls. But there's some things different as you're able to take in more focus. You notice that unlike the other figures, which are rather small, these boots are large. From a figure probably twice your size. About as large as Lucas Bang, actually.
Yeah, that was my follow-up. Are these Lucas Bang's boots? He's not philosophical enough for those.
He's not, actually. And he also doesn't have a pointy red tail. Or bright red skin. You can see this figure is wearing instead of a shirt.
Okay, so this is a figure in these clothes.
Yes.
Or appearing in these clothes? Okay.
This man, this devil, who is sitting leaned back, and he goes, well, Sparky Malarkey. And this demon turns around, and you can see he's got a little name tag that says Big Jake Hell. And he says, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. It was a regular day, or so I thought. I knew she was trouble from the moment she entered my office, because she carried with her the announcement break. Hi, welcome to the Necromon Thief Part 2 out of 3 announcement break. Just like with last time, I want to give a big thank you to Rob from Totalus Rankium for doing the Quique Noir monologues, but I'd also like to include a thank you to Bree from PONTIFACTS for doing the Irene monologues. If you liked any of their dramatic voices, or you just want a lighthearted look into history, be it American presidents, Roman emperors, or the popes, you can find links to both of their shows in the description. In addition to those 2 new voices, you might have noticed that a voice has changed. Specifically, for the rest of this specific arc, I will be voicing the Mossies instead of Tom. And that's just because Tom's internet cut out when we were recording the Irene and Quique segments, and instead of waiting, we decided to move on with it anyway. So I ended up having to voice the Mossies for that. We could just say that, I don't know, they got a cold. They got a moss cold. I don't know what that looks like, but it's what they got. Next month is September, which means that we are coming up on the 5-year anniversary of Quest Friends. And just like with every other year, we want to do an anniversary stream. Now, in previous years, we did a Q&A stream, but we actually want to wait until in between arcs to do those for hereafter. So instead, we're going to do something else. Probably something simple like we play Jackbox or Channel A, or just do something lighthearted and fun to ring in the beginning of the 5th year of Quest Friends. So that right now is scheduled for September 25th at 7 p.m. Central Time, although if that changes, I will let you know. I'll also let you know more details about what we're doing, as well as fun other stuff we might do for our anniversary in future announcement breaks. Or you can always follow us on social media, where we'll be mentioning these things as well. All right, I have got another promo for you today, and this one is a very good one. Today's promo is going to be for Sidequesting. Sidequesting is a fantasy podcast about avoiding the main plot. It's just fun and lighthearted and delightful and heartfelt and all those words that mean heart and good and not the main story. But don't take my word for it. Listen to a promo from the creator themselves.
Aren't adventurers supposed to have a specific purpose? What are you doing on this quest? Just meeting strangers?
Yep, my purpose is to have no purpose. Though, I sort of find purpose as I go.
My basket! It's missing!
I have tried many means of defense, but none have yet proven successful.
I just wish someone would succeed in getting that darn sword.
I am under attack by this ruffian!
I want to be big and strong and fight evil.
I have hope that if you show up at her door, she might listen.
Want to help me yell at them? With your sword? In a threatening manner?
Sidequesting is a fantasy podcast about avoiding the main plot. It follows Ryan, an adventurer who's willing to help just about anyone out, as long as they're not being asked to deal with that scary wizard everyone keeps talking about. Subscribe today on your favorite podcast app.
If that strikes your fancy, you can check out Sidequesting at sidequestingpod.com or in the description below. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Our next episode, The Necromon Thief Part 3, will be releasing on Monday, September 5th. But if you'd like additional stories, chat logs, or behind-the-scenes videos, you can find them at patreon.com/questfriends. For example, since last episode, select Patreon backers have gotten access to more in-depth rules for the Investigate move that we introduced this arc. I hope to see you there.
Stolen, purloined, moss-napped. One of my partners had been taken against their will, and I could feel a deep, yawning ache in the core of my soul itself. But I definitely didn't cry, because I was tough, and it wasn't the time for tears. I was gonna find this phantom thief that had stolen my precious Mossy, and I was gonna make them wish they had never died.
It's been a couple of hours. 6, actually. It is now 7 o'clock, and what have you been doing to investigate since then?
I'm guessing Irene would be trying to follow leads that go nowhere because she doesn't actually have leads and is a small child and doesn't have a car to go places. She's just stuck at the museum.
So you've been just going around in circles for hours at the museum.
Oh no.
She's like carrying all of her Necromon around.
It's been hard. The pain hasn't been there since the attack happened. The pain in your soul almost. But it's been 6 hours. Your body aches, your mind aches, sights and sounds are more sensitive. It's been a lot. By this point, pretty much everyone is left except for Lexi, the skeleton in suspenders.
It's just still staring at
She's still there.
the lyric.
But as you go back to the scene of the crime, you notice someone standing there.
You! Have you seen anything suspicious here?
Aha! a suspect. He's gonna say that before knowing who that person is, just like hearing that voice.
Well, he has no reason to think that this is a poor child hunting for a Necromon. This is a suspect.
Yeah, you know.
They're there. That's enough.
I am not a suspect. You are my suspect.
Aha! The suspect is trying to do the classic maneuver from novel 12 of Lady Stuff Saga, which is the reverse blame. Ha! Trying to make the detective feel like the victim.
Well,
this is not going to work in this case.
You're doing the reverse blame on me.
Clever stuff. Clever reverse psychology there. Wait. You're just a child.
I am not a child, but I am also not a suspect. Thank you very much. I am looking for my Necromon. Have you seen any moss balls?
Plot thickens here. So now there appear to be not one, but two childs that are missing different types of Necromon creatures. I have not seen these moss balls. Have you seen a little chinchilla thing? It's a little, and he's having a hard time describing it without saying animal names that are no longer existent. Small and fluffy and little legs. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, it appears that now there's two people missing. Listen, I am detective on the case. I am looking for a missing chinchilla. Oh, that's right, it's a pick. That's right. I am in the case of the disappearing pick. But now, you can also be in the case, so we are in the case of the disappearing pick and moss balls. Do you want to join on this investigation?
Yes, I would. I am glad you volunteered to be my assistant.
I did no such thing. The reverse psychology is once again at play. I see what is happening here. Very clever stuff. Let's exchange clues.
I saw someone in a mask and a cape steal my Mossy.
Meanwhile, I saw some sort of bite marks by the exhibit over there.
Yes, that was my moss ball.
Well, that is a clue that is leading nowhere then. It's just another disappearance. So you say you saw a guy in a mask?
Yes, do you have any clues to tell me, or are our only clues my clues? Because I have not gotten anywhere with those clues yet, and it has been several hours, unfortunately.
Yes, it appears we are an impasse at this moment, but together we can solve the mystery. I do not have any other clues, but if you can tell me everything you can about this mask, I can try and figure out where this culprit went, because I have some inner sense, some natural hunter sense, and I want to use my new move, Natural Hunter.
What?
That Quique took from spending time and bonding with Toucan. If you want to find a particular character or creature, roll plus fierce, and if you have an access to an item related to the creature you're hunting, roll with advantage.
God.
So I wanted to say he has the card, and that's related to the pick.
And you want to find the pick.
Yeah, so I want, it was like, perhaps this is related, and if I find this chinchilla, it will lead to where your moss balls are.
I concur.
Yeah, roll with advantage, and what stat is it?
Fierce.
Okay, roll plus fierce with advantage.
Okay, with advantage, hang on, because this is, thank God it's with advantage, let me roll with this.
I also really love that Quique has said, I have not seen any moss balls, with Irene's arms full of moss balls standing in front of him.
He doesn't know what a moss ball is. Anyways, so I, even with advantage, I got 6. So I want to use my loaded die to make it a 7. I'm rolling shit this session.
Quique, describe how you try and fail to get a scent
I mean, he's just going to like stare directly at the card.
Just staring
at the card, and then up, and then the card, and then up, like,
And you hear a
it seems it's my assistant, Pingüino Rodriguez. He's also on the case.
And Toucan makes the big sound, and the subtitles here would say, "You are my assistants."
Oh my god. Nobody thinks Quique is the lead.
Ah, my assistant has an assistant, Irene says, putting her hand to her chin.
So what's a mixed success? Tell me what the results of that are.
It just says, you know approximately where your target is.
Well, Toucan knows. Toucan knows approximately. So Toucan flaps his wings next to the newly done hole in the dome, and he flutters for you to follow him into the next area in order to find where the pick is.
Ah, come on, kid. It seems like my assistant Pingüino has a scent for both the chinchilla and the moss balls.
I see, Irene says, not fully understanding, but just she's starting to get a little bit into the mystery solving noir aura.
I just imagine like the actual noir like environment starts to like extend to Irene too.
She's in color until now, but now she's black and white.
In my lengthy 11 years of life, I've learned many things. Above all else, trust the Necromon. I wasn't sure what this Kingpecker was saying, or why he wanted to go the way he did, but somehow that deep ache in my soul was pulling me the same way. The three of us, me, my assistant, and his assistant, made our way to the Ragtime District, an old place for old people who liked old people things.
I love this place!
It really was the best part of the valley, though, a classic cultural district that...
Excuse me? This is my monologue. I'm speaking right now. So we made our way to the boring old person district.
The cool, hip district.
Which was so archaic that all but the most vibrant colors were washed out into nothing but black and white.
That was the kind of morality that we were dealing with. Black and white. Hero and villain, necro-cat and necro-mouse. There was no room for shades of grey.
So, you follow Toucan and that little feeling in your soul, and you find yourselves in the Ragtime District. The Ragtime District, it's a cultural district, not really a big thing anymore. It's seen more popularity recently as visitors have come from the hereafter to kind of, live out some of their fun days back in the olden days. It's so caught in the past, it feels like everything is black and white, and it's all, outdated places. You got your brick busters, you got your diners. You can see, there's a mime on the street. People going, "Hey pal, hey, the hustlers." I think like, "Hey pal, you want to be a star? Can I get a star back on the Broadway walk?"
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Please don't speak to me. I'm not supposed to speak to strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I'm your new best friend. You can call me.
You are not.
The kid is right. You're not our friend at all. But what you are is a suspect.
Ouch! Sounded like my ex-wife here.
The fuck? This person is not wearing a mask or a cape.
No, but I masked my feelings. That's what she said in the divorce papers.
Who is this? If you masked your feelings, what kind of mask would you use? This is a technique used in the book number 3 of Lady Stuff's novel series.
Well, the standard stuff, saying I'm tired or I'm fine when really I'm very upset. Going out with the boys on events I didn't really want to go to, but I was too afraid to go home. And just really pouring myself into my work, which, as you can see here, as a street hustler.
A physical type of mask, not an emotional mask. Oh no, I forgot. That same thing happened to the tech stuff, that book. It was confused for an emotional baggage and not the actual hints that I needed.
First off, take an AP for that. I'm just giving you one. Why the fuck not? You deserve it.
You deserve it.
I don't even know what to have you roll here. Roll C into his heart. Sure, why the fuck not? Roll C into this random street hustler's heart to figure out what his baggage would be.
I imagine this street hustler is literally just doing this the whole time he's talking like a video game sprite.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm picturing like Malaya or one of the Necromons starting to imitate.
Oiko, 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 oiko.
Well, I got 6.
God damn it.
We'll take another AP.
Oh.
He gets insight into you.
No.
So I can ask you one question.
Oh boy.
What's your emotional mask?
I knew you were going to ask that. God. I was not prepared to answer this question about Quique today. Maybe just feeling that he's too old, like he fails to get with the new youngins. Nowadays, he's too caught up in the old ye past with the black and white sort of aesthetic, and sometimes that hurts him.
But I guess I'm not the only one caught up in the past, am I, friend? The one hiding, not thinking that he can move on or progress in any ways. I guess that's why you're here in the Ragtime District. Same as us, one of us. One of us. You're one of us. Yes, what was that? He's doing tap dancing to this One of Us song while you ask him questions.
So Irene was saying "excuse me" to Quique.
Oh!
As she scoots around him, stalks up to this person, and pokes them in the nose.
Oh boy.
What do you want to do with poking them in the nose?
I would like to then poke them so that they start backing up into like a corner or something to intimidate them.
Roll me convince somebody with fierce for intimidation.
With fierce?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it was a 5, but add 3. So really it's 8.
Okay, so a mixed success on convince somebody. Your target is convinced mostly. Choose one drawback.
I'm torn because on one hand, I would be upset if someone backed me into a corner angrily, but also they've made inconvenient understandings already, so maybe that's the best to keep in line with that.
All right, so you poke this man who's doing the tip taps, and as he keeps dancing, they get louder and louder, just ringing in your ears, Irene, and kind of blurring the sides of your vision.
I would like to bully this man.
And they're like, hey, what's the big idea? What's the big idea? As they're tips tapping back, and what do you want to convince him with your fierce?
I think that you actually do understand what this skeleton, whose name I never actually learned, what? I'm just walking around with a strange adult. What I was saying was that you know what he meant, and you should just tell us what physical mask. Is it a square mask? Is it a monster mask? What mask would you wear? Tell me or else.
All we call
a lamb.
A lamb. They're backing Irene up.
Well, if you have to push, I wanted to keep this for myself, but I guess I would, I take this mask that I found on the street. Half of it at least, and you can see he picks up the Phantom of the Opera mask.
Oh.
But only half of it. He's like, I guess you can keep it. I'll just I'll be on my way. And before he leaves, he makes the inconvenient misunderstanding, and he's like, hey. And he stops. And he puts a hand on your shoulder, Quique, and he looks deep into your eyes. Don't worry about it, bud. My kids call me a strange man, too.
Oh!
And he tip-taps away.
Oh my god. Quique will just be like, this is just like that book in the Detect Stuff novels where he is a grizzled man and he's trying to get back in the business, but he can't. It's the worst book of them all. And here I am in the worst possible scenario.
I think we should keep walking.
I think listening to the youths nowadays is a better idea, as I have lost the meaning of what truly is important.
Now is not the time for an afterlife crisis.
Sure. So wait, do you know where we are going exactly? Like, I know he gave you this mask, right? Is that the mask you saw earlier?
It is half of the mask that I saw, but perhaps if we give it to your bird assistant.
His name is Toucan. I mean, you can call him Pinguino, but it truly is Toucan.
Oh! I prefer Pinguino.
Well, you said he caught a scent, so perhaps we can get him to smell this and show us the way.
That's a good idea. Yes, and like I want to say that, like, as Quique was having the old crisis, it was like beginning to look more like color, and then once Irene was like, yeah, this clue, it just like went back to like Noir, and it's like, yes, the scent, that is a good idea, my assistant. Pinguino, what do you see in this clue?
We're gonna do another basic investigation roll. Roll me an investigate, Ari.
I want to spend an AP to roll with advantage.
Okay, yeah. Roll me 3 dice.
Whoa! Oh! Malita! Which is really at 13 because it's +1 in books, and I got a nat 12 with advantage.
What a night! I'm so mad and happy at the same time. God!
Okay, so Ari, as a full success, instead of getting a clue from me, you will be able to ask a question and I'll give you an answer. But in addition to that, you get a critical effect. You could gain an AP, you could double the move's effect. So I would say that as I will give you a second clue. That one will just come from me though. So you can get 2 clues for the price of 1. Or you can get +1 ongoing whenever you use the information related to the question you're about to ask.
I don't know, because I don't know what. I don't know if I know enough to ask 2 things.
Well, I can give you the other one for free.
Oh, okay. Then yes, and two clues, I think.
Okay, so ask me your first question.
I don't know. I want to like ask something related to figuring out the specific owner of this mask. Maybe like, is it made of a specific material or something that I could tell, like, it comes from the store, fabrics and more fabrics.
And also this specific fabric.
Yeah, or I don't know, like, you know how sometimes people do things where they go and look for the receipt of things, and it's like, it was bought in here, but...
Quique, you turn the mask over, and as you do, your mind wanders back to those good old days that you can't help but cling to, like a life raft in the turbulent, ever-changing waters of existence.
When I was a younger skeleton than I am today, I would often frequent Chuck Beaver's emporium of fun and pizza. Amid all the games and grease, there was a fabled prize, the 10,000 ticket mask. It was rumored that this mask could hide your true intentions, that it could even disguise your identity entirely. That's all they ever were, though, rumors. For no being alive or dead was skilled enough to complete this Sisyphean feat. And yet, in my bony hands, I held a broken mask with a ripped receipt for 10,000 tickets. The phantom mask was real. I had it. But the back of this ripped receipt contained something even more valuable. The rest of the message, writ by the mastermind. Once you're done in the dome, meet me at Chuck Beaver's Emporium of Fun and Pizza, where the fun never dies. Signed, E.
Quique at seeing that is going to be like, I committed the classic mistake. Always read the fine print. Yes, the classic feeling in your bones and your soul that a mystery is about to be unfolded. I have this.
I don't know if this is going to be a monologue or me just saying this. Quique, in reality, you feel nothing.
I know.
You feel like you're on the case. You're excited, but you feel nothing.
I know.
I know you know, but it's funny to say it, and also I feel like, just to be clear to the audience, you're bullshitting. You feel nothing.
Yes, I am absolutely bullshitting. That is absolutely correct.
Well, Irene believes you. Because if she can feel it, why wouldn't you be able to feel it?
Quique does believe you, but Quique believes that it's also, like, he doesn't necessarily know that it's a literal feeling you're having, but like, yes, the thrill of the chase. But anyways, he will follow you. Like, guide me where your feeling, your intuition guides you. My new assistant, whose name I also haven't quite caught.
You're getting your time in the sun. Don't get sunburned.
This is completely irrelevant, but I'm following like the Dracula drama as Tumblr learns about Dracula together collectively.
What?
Because remember, there's that subscription service where they send you like synopsis of what happened on this date in the novel Dracula. Because Dracula starts in early May, that's been going on. Didn't I tell everyone about this the other night?
Don't you remember, Kyle? Don't you remember, Ari?
I don't know any of these things. What?
I talked about this on Thursday during Symphonia.
Did you? I don't...
Was
it when you were muted?
Okay, was it when your mic wasn't working?
No. No. You couldn't have missed all of that. No.
Because when you told me about it today or yesterday, I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. But you did sound like I knew it, and I was like, maybe I did at one point, just forgot.
I think you talked about it when everything
when your mic stopped functioning.
Anyway, so there's a thing you can subscribe to that gives you synopses of what happens in the novel Dracula on the date that it happened in Dracula. And since Dracula starts in early May,
incredible,
that has been going on, and it's a big thing on Tumblr now where a bunch of people are like learning about Dracula for the first time through this.
Will there be a part, because I mean there's a part where they travel to America, right? Correct. So then like the second half of the book, it's super fucking boring because it's just Dracula in a fucking stowaway like casket.
I love that Dracula stows away on a boat though. Dracula and Titanic together at last.
It's very funny because everyone's like, Jonathan, pay fucking attention. Everyone's trying to keep you alive.
Oh no, Jonathan he's a very oblivious man. He basically has to be about to get bitten to be like, wait a second, what is happening here?
This is gross, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I am so sweaty.
Oh no.
So hot.
Oh, is it really hot in Arizona right now?
It's fairly warm. Kyle's office doesn't have good ventilation, and I'm in a tent.
And we've got the AC on. Like,
oh god,
the only thing we could do beyond this is put on the fan, and the
Mhm.
fan would make my audio sound terrible.
Right.
Yeah. Today I was sweating on my walk because it was 66 degrees.
66.